Okay, right. I had to, sorry about the pause there in the start of the recording. I had to upload the screen here. Okay, right then. Welcome to this bootcamp lesson on for General Science. Your exams on July the 13th. What we're going to do is going to begin with each paper. We're going to start with paper 1, 2018, the multiple choice paper. Go through the questions, and I'll give you and go through the answers. I will be sending off to Ms. Lewis a Word document with the answers on. So if you miss something on here, don't worry. That will be sent to you as well. And we're going to do that with all of the exams that we go through. So okay, let's get to it. All right then. Which class of organism? Question 1, which class of organism is cold-blooded with scales and has gills? The answer to that one, of course, is C. Which cells make up human blood? Question 2. Two cells, really the two cells we're looking at here are X and Y. They have written Y and X, so the answer to question 2 is also C. Question 3, which science is the study of plants? Well, you know, if you go process of elimination, it's not chemistry, because that's about matter. It's not zoology, that's about animals. It's not astronomy, that's about Earth and space. So the answer to that one is B. And that's the thing about multiple choice. Normally, you can, in multiple choice papers, normally you can eliminate 2 straight away, and you're normally left with 2 that are close together. The 2 that you could eliminate straight away with this question are A and C, and with B, and B and D are the ones that are close together. The thing with multiple choice, of course, and I'm sure you've had this said to you in your classes too, is it's not multiple guess. You know, you do actually have to have a read the questions, and actually think for a second, think about what it is you're being asked to do. Okay, right then, number 4. I'm not from the Bahamas, and I did have a quick look, and there was a great big long list of endangered animals, endangered species in the Bahamas, and it didn't say that. And none of the ones that I could see was on there. So the truth be told, I don't actually know what the answer to that one is. I would suggest that when you get this recording, is you know, basically put the answer onto the worksheet, onto your answer sheet, and put it in. Okay, I plead geographic ignorance, geographic distance on that one. Okay, so question 5, the picture shows a plant growing in water. It's not a very clear picture, to be fair. You need to use the answer to answer 5 and 6. Now, the first question it asks you is, which is the seed? And from what I can work out, from the picture that I can see, it's D. Is what is I would put D for the seed there. For number 6, which structure transports food and water to the rest of the plant? And the answer to number 6 is B, which is this part here, of course, the stem. Okay, number 7, where does peristalsis take place? From those there. Now, that's the peristalsis. If you're not sure what that is, that's the process, the muscle movement which moves food from your mouth to your stomach. And the structure which does that is the alimentary canal. So the answer to number 7 is A. Number 8, what is hypertension? It's well, again, this is a good example here where I can show you or point out again the two that you can eliminate. Now, the 2 you can eliminate in question A are C and D, because they're both minerals that you need. So what they've done here, they've put 2 that are kind of close together. So it's either high blood glucose or high blood pressure. Now, high blood glucose is a form of diabetes, or would indicate diabetes. So the answer to number 8 is B. Okay, what action involves the chemical digestion of food? And the key word here is chemical. So what of those options that you have there, we have the only one that involves any kind of chemical change is A, which is of course the breakdown of food into nutrients by enzymes. Now, this question also gives us another point where I can suggest another way to tackle multiple choice. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you weren't sure what number 7 was. And let's just say that for number 7, you wrote the liver. or the pancreas or the gallbladder, anything but A. If you do take a guess, because sometimes if you really don't know, okay, all right, that's about when you do take a guess. If you really don't know, it's better to put something in than to put nothing in at all. You never know, you might get it right. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you've guessed number 7. When you look at number 9, what does option D say? It says peristaltic waves of the alimentary canal. So if you look at number 9, you think, then you look at number 7 and you think, oh, hang on, I wrote gallbladder for that. That's not right. I've just seen the answer here in number 9. I can cross out my answer to I can cross out my option B to number 7 and write the letter number A, or circle, put the line in the paper that you need to do, that you need to put in. This is another reason why we ask you to bring a pencil in and not a pen into multiple choice. And there's also another another big reason why we tell you to read the questions and check your answers. Single biggest reason students don't do as well as they can do in exams often isn't because they've not studied or because they don't know it. It's because you haven't read the question properly. So read the questions and think about what you're doing when you're in the exam. Okay, question 9. Sorry, we've done question 9. Question 10. During which process is an ovum released from the ovary? The answer to that one is B. Okay, so sorry, no, it's not. The answer to number 10, sorry, is C. I do apologize. The answer to number 10 is C. Okay, all right, so number 11 then, which organ nourishes and maintains the fetus during pregnancy? Now, the key word here is nourishes and maintains. All the options here are in some way obviously to do with pregnancy and female reproduction, but the answer here is asking which organ, or the female reproductive system, sorry, and pregnancy, which organ nourishes and maintains the fetus during pregnancy? The answer to that one is the umbilical cord. Okay, it nourishes and maintains. Number 11 is D. Right then, number 12. Number 12 shows a diagram of a human body system. Now, I'm assuming with this one that they're referring to the blood vessels and the heart here, because I can't see anything else. So it's not a very clear picture, but running with the fact that they're showing the diagram of the heart and the blood vessels, the answer to number 12 is A, the circulatory system. Okay, right then. Number 13, which fuel is classified as an alternative fuel? This just means an alternative to fossil fuels, really, is what they're saying with this one. And the answer to number 13 is B. Okay, moving onward then. Which phrase states the law of I'll start again. Which phrase states the law of the conservation of energy? Okay, so this is one of the concepts that you get taught across the board in science. The answer to number 14 is B, because energy, the way that we express it, it can be created, it can't be created, it can neither be created or destroyed, but it can only exist in one form to another. All right, so think about anywhere where you've done any kind of energy transfer. So anything where in physics, for instance, if you've done circuits, what happens to electrical energy as it passes through a circuit? What happens to light energy when it comes from the sun through a solar panel? Any form of energy transfer. Indeed, even think about digestion. It's a form of transfer of energy, chemical energy inside the food from one form into another. Number 15. Which question represents photosynthesis? Okay, this is the equation. How plants make their own food, convert sugars into oxygen and water in the presence of, I'll start that again. Convert sugars into oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water. And the answer to that one then is C, because that's the equation that we use to convert the foods that way. They put the opposite in, if you like, as well. They put respiration in here as well, which is also in there. So don't do that, which is D. It goes the other way, okay, because that's the opposite. Okay, right. Number 16. Which of the following does not transmit sound? all gas, liquids, and solids are all able to transmit sound to varying degrees. Number 16, the vacuum of space, if you like, does not. Okay, so all those big budget space movies where you see big explosions happening when interstellar spaceships blow up and there's big explosions that you can hear, not true, because you don't hear any sounds because there's no sound, no way for the sound to be transmitted. Okay, right, number 17. Which soil layer is mainly made up of gas and water? Okay, and the answer to this one, this is the Mason. I'll start again. Which soil layer is mainly made up of organic matter? This is to do with what's called the Mason test, where you put all the soil in to get into a container and shake it and leave it, and it settles itself out. Again, it's not a very clear picture, okay. But the answer to where the organic matter is B. All right, because that's where it goes. Sorry, number 17. The answer to number 17. Sorry, it's not a very clear picture. That the water goes on the top. The answer to number 17, organic matter, I do apologize, is B. Okay, number 18. What is a solution? Okay, this is a sort of general question asking you how you would describe what a solution is. So we need to be thinking about what this one is what is a solution? And the answer to number A is a solute dissolved in a solvent. Remember, the solvent is is the substance that you're dissolving into, and the solute is what you are dissolving. So that can be anything really, whatever dissolves in the solvent. Okay, number 19. What is the importance of the ozone layer in the Earth's atmosphere? Oh, this is a big bugbear for me, this one. Really important one, this. I'm writing about this in how life managed to evolve. The answer to number 19 is A. It absorbs solar ultraviolet radiation. Okay, without it, we wouldn't be here. So it's a big concern that there are still holes in the ozone layer. All right, number 20. Brian found some rusty nails on the ground near a construction site. They've rusted. So what type of chemical change I've given the answer away. What type of change did the nails undergo? The answer is, of course, chemical. Right, because all the other ones on the metamorphosis is it's not a chemical change, it's a movement through life. And the other two are state changes and therefore not chemical changes. Okay, which statement about acids and bases is not true? Okay, the answer to that one is D, because they're all corrosive, they all have pH values, and they all react with metals in some capacity. They're not always hard solid compounds. They're never hard solid compounds, sorry, they're solutions. Okay, number 22. What is produced when sound waves are reflected from a solid surface? And the answer to that one, of course, is an echo. Think about it. We've all seen that before. We haven't seen them at all. We've heard them before. They are an echo. Right then, which force causes wear and tear on the tires of vehicles on the soles of our footwear? The answer to that one is friction. Just think, when we're walking along, dragging things walking along, we our shoes get worn out. Okay, number 24. Diagram shows the appearance of a pencil in a clear glass of water. What's happened to it? It looks split, doesn't it? It's not really split, obviously. It's because of what's happening, the behavior of light in the water. And the answer to that one is refraction. Okay, the light has been refracted, the pencil appears like it's bent. Okay, Amy is standing 2025. Amy is standing 75 centimeters in front of a plane mirror. How far is Amy's image behind the mirror? The answer to that one is C. Think about that. If you if you're not sure about that, look in the section on light, how the difference between plane mirrors, convex mirrors, concave mirrors, and how light waves are reflected and how they all behave, and where in terms of the image in this case, Amy. So the answer to number 25 is C. Right. When a piece of metal is heated, it expands. What happens to the metal once it cools? So what's the opposite of expansion? Expanding. The opposite of expand is to contract. So the answer to number 26 is B. Okay, Amanda, is measuring the length of a leaf, not the leaf and the stem, the leaf. So how long is the leaf is what the question is answering there. Number 27. Again, it's not really very clear, but the answer to number 27 is B, 11.5 centimeters there. Okay, number 28. Air is a mixture of gases. What is the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air? And the answer to number 28 is D. Okay, and this is one of the things that's said about carbon dioxide, isn't it? It's one of the things that people who deny climate change say, is they say that because there's such a small amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, that somehow, you know, the way that we do things won't have and doesn't have any impact on the Earth's climate system, which of course is not true, because it does, as we are beginning to see. Okay, number 29. What phrase describes current electricity? Well, is it an attraction? Nope. So by process of elimination, you can get rid of A and B. Is it a repulsion? No, it's not that either. But what is a current of electricity? It is a flow of charged particles through a conducting material. So the answer to number 29 is C. Okay. Now, which plants have root nodules? Well, I grow them. We're growing some of them in our garden here in Wales. So which plants have root nodules? The answer to that one straight away from it is D. Okay, number 31. Diagram shows the organisms in a food chain. What is the producer in this food chain? So what is the organism which is producing the food that all other organisms in the food chain depend on ultimately depend on for their food needs? And the answer to number 31 is D. Okay, see how you put that in there. Number 32. Which row describes the function of the xylem and the phloem vesicles? They would be what's in the stem that we talked about that came up in the earlier question at the start of the test. The answer to number 32. You have to read it. You have to look at which ones which is which in here. So the answer to number 32 is D. On the Celsius scale, question 33. On the Celsius scale, what is the boiling point of pure water? Boiling point, not melting point, not freezing point, boiling point, pure water on the Celsius scale is 100 degrees. Okay, which process, number 34, which process causes water droplets to form on a glass of cold iced tea on a hot summer's day? Well, the answer to that one there, of course, is condensation. Not the other ones, because it just isn't. So number 34 is A. Okay, number 35, you've got the diagram shows a pot of boiling water. Pot X is made of copper and the handle Y is made of wood. Which row describes the properties of X and Y, which makes them suitable for their function? So it's really asking you what the properties of copper are and what the properties of wood are in terms of how you're using the pot, i.e. in this case, boiling your water, cooking your food, whatever it is. So the answer to number 35 is asking which is the best conductor, which is the good insulator, and the answer to, when you look at it that way, is option B, because the copper the X is a good conductor and the wood is a good insulator. If it wasn't a good insulator, you wouldn't be able to hold up the hold the wood when it was when you were serving the food, emptying the pan out. Okay, number 36. A laboratory technician uses a force of 23 newtons to push a trolley a distance of 30 meters. How much work is being done? And so this is the simple equation. Work equals force times newtons, and the answer to that one is 69 joules. So the answer to that one is D, number 36. Number 37. Which part is a wavelength? So what's the wavelength? The wavelength really is the distance between the crests of two waves, and that gives when you look at it like that, the answer to number 37 is A. Tony applies number 38. Tony applies a turning action to the cap of the bottle to open it. Which simple machine does a bottle and cap represent? And the answer to number 38, only when it can be really, is B. Okay. Mary uses a nutcracker to open a walnut, number 39. Which class of lever is a nutcracker? Technically, I had a look to check this to make sure. technically a nutcracker is a specialist first class lever, but it doesn't give you that option there. So the answer to number 39 is of course A, because it's a first class lever. All right. So the reason I said that is try not to get too bogged down in it. Go with the answers and the options that they give you in the questions. Okay, last one, number 40. Nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus of the atom. Nuclear reactions release heat energy, which is used to turn turbines to generate electricity. What is the disadvantage of using nuclear energy? I would say that personally, I would say that it has absolutely no advantages at all. So everything to do with nuclear power and nuclear energy is a clear-cut disadvantage, but that's my opinion. But the answer you're looking for this one, for number 40 is D. All right. So again, go with what the questions are asking you. Now, so in this one, the answer to number 40 is D, because the waste will remain toxic for long periods of time, long periods of use. For those of us that are opposed to nuclear power, that's just one reason, if you like, what we call the trump card to oppose nuclear power. What we also say, but those of us who also oppose nuclear power can also argue against options A, B, and C, and perhaps if you proceed into doing more studying of science, more studying of these issues, which of course we hope you do, you can get to grips with those questions as well. Okay, that's it. Okay, for paper 1 2018. The next recording you hear in this module will be paper 2 2018, and I'll see you then. Okay, goodbye. End of recording.